Welcome to episode number 2 of From No Good to Hollywood, a mini-course designed to guide aspiring filmmakers on their journey to creating and publishing their own films. And this episode will cover how to structure a movie as a director and why it's important. Stick around, and by the end of this series you'll have your movie published on your social networks as director, actor or both. Before watching this episode, be sure to check out the first one where we discuss movie ideas. Whether you're a seasoned filmmaker or just starting out, understanding the basics of structure can help take your storytelling to the next level. The structure is a map where the story logic is put in sequence. It is particularly useful before you start writing the story because it forces you to consider all the ingredients that will turn a dull story into a Hollywood masterpiece. I prepared the schemes for the 3 industry standard structures used in most films you've ever seen and will ever see. The 1-3-5 story structure. It's one of the most basic and widely used in films. It consists of a beginning, middle and end, with a clear setup, rising action, climax and resolution. It's a tried and true method for crafting a compelling story. The hero's journey, made famous by Joseph Campbell, follows the journey of a hero as he lives his ordinary world, faces challenges and obstacles, and ultimately returns home as a transformed person. Save the Cat by Blake Snyder is a film narrative technique in which the protagonist performs an act of likability, such as saving a cat, early on in the story to endear them to the audience and establish them as sympathetic and relatable characters. Remember that not all films need to adhere to these traditional structures. Non-linear storytelling, for example, can create a unique and disorienting experience for the audience. It can be used to explore multiple perspectives or reveal information in a non-chronological way. You don't have to study this stuff, I'm just giving it to you as a reference for the future. I'll put the links to download these documents in the description. I've also included the story logic, a visual representation of all beats in the sequence or timeline, and I simplify the description of each bit. Let's say that you have a generic idea like this. There's a guy that wants to be a dancer. Let's pick the 1-3-5 story structure system and fill in the blanks for our idea. In the setup, we introduce our protagonist, a wannabe dancer who's struggling. He may be middle-aged, working a dead-end job, and is unable to financially support his family. His unhappy wife belittles him in front of their daughter, leaving him feeling inadequate and wishing he could be the hero his daughter deserves. The unexpected change can come in many forms, such as a divorce ultimatum from his wife or a sudden job loss. This event prompts him to re-evaluate everything. In the rejection to change stage, our dancer initially resists the idea of change. He tries everything he can to restore his life back to how it was before, but ultimately, he fails. Do you see where I'm going with this? As the story progresses, the structure guides it towards a compelling and transformative arc for our protagonist. Yet, not everybody likes working with a structure. Guys like Stephen King hate this process of writing because it removes all the romance in writing a story. He says that when he sits down to write a story, he doesn't know where the story is going to go, how it's going to finish, or which direction it's going to take. And he loves to be surprised along the way. But let's get back to your movie. Remember that our goal is making your first short film, which needs to be 3 to 10 minutes. This is why I don't recommend that you squeeze all these bits into such a short time. For your short film, I want you to fill in the blanks of the super easy structure I created, which you can download in the video description. It's only 8 bits. The setup. Establish the world that the character lives in. Make sure that the audience understands clearly what your hero wants. Remember the tips from the first video. The protagonist's desire must be something primordial and specific. Catalyst. Here something happens that shows the character's pain and struggles. These should be external problems that must be dealt with now, in the present. The commitment. Let your character meet a guide that will offer to go on a new quest. It'd be more interesting if, at first, your protagonist is reluctant to go on this journey, but in the end, they decide to go. Make sure that the audience understands what the stakes are. Either way, the final battle doesn't have to be a physical battle, although it can be. It could be a significant problem that the hero must face to achieve whatever he wants to do. All is lost. Here, your character has reached the threshold of no return. Something has happened. The hero can't go back to where it all started. He must take a leap of faith and move forward into the unknown.
The finale.
The climax is where the protagonist gives all of himself to complete his quest. Final image. The ending shows where the protagonist is now, compared with the opening image, the transformation. After achieving his goal, the hero finds an even greater cause and becomes a different and better person. Enhance your storytelling by downloading the structure scheme now and filling in the blanks. This exercise will bring your idea to life by making it fresh, new, and exciting. Note that I've added the spaces to force you to think about emotions. Emotions aren't referring to the heroes, but instead the audiences. For each bit of your story, consider the emotions you want your audience to feel. This information will be valuable when we later translate this exercise into a screenplay. Okay, get to work. Share your story with me on Instagram and let me know in the comments if you need any help or guidance. I can't wait to see what you'll come up with. I'll see you in the next episode.